Hi dear professor, here I'm in home task number 2, part 1. I tried to write a code for user management in the system. Here I defined a class named user, which has attributes like username and password, and also user type, which can be either administrator or an external user. And in this class we have also some methods like get username and get password to return the username and password of the user, and another for user type. And with these two methods we can set usernames to new username and also password to new password. In enum we have two types of user, which can be external user and administrator user. I also defined another class named user manager, which has an attribute named user, which has a list of users in the system. And we have some methods here like register, and in register method we can register new users to the system. And I tried to define another method named authenticate user, which gets the username and password of the users, and with a for loop here it compares it to the database and check if the user is authenticated or not. And I tried to use boolean here for an authorizing system here for users. And we can check here if some users in the system has some privilege or not. For example, we can check by this if here if that particular user is administrator or is not an administrator. If there is an administrator in the system by this username, it returns true here, and if it's not, it returns false. And I also defined another class named privilege, which has a name and description as an attribute, and it also has two methods named get name and get descriptions, which can return the name and description of a particular privilege, for example being an administrator.
I hope you are well. I'm Zahra Paya, and in this video I want to explain part 2 of task 2. This part of Java code defines two classes, metadata class and metadata manager class. Metadata class specifies the structure of metadata objects and the number of attributes and data type. Actually, it shows the information about a project. This information includes project name, project version, project description, and the list of authors and contact information. This class has a getter method for each of these fields, so that via getter we can have access to all information. Metadata manager class create an instance of metadata and manage it. This is happening in constructor. Here, an instance of metadata is created with a specific values that specify the project name, the version, and description, also contact information. The get metadata method returns metadata information, and update metadata method allows updating the metadata with metadata information with new information. This structure allows us to update via getter and manage it, manage whole project directly using metadata manager. That's it. Thank you for your time.
We're going to talk about the provided code here. The provided code includes an enum called logtype and two classes called logEntry and logFileManager. So let's talk about this. The enum logtype defines different types of log entries that can be used to categorize logs. In this case, the enum has three values: system, charging station, and energy management. The class logEntry represents a single log entry and contains three private attributes: timestamp, a string representing the time the log was created; logtype, a log type enum representing the type of log; and message, a string representing the log message. So, the logEntry class has a constructor that takes the timestamp, log type, and message as parameters to initialize the attributes. The class logFileManager manages the log files and provides methods to create, move, delete, and archive log files. So there are here. Overall, this code provides a way to manage log files, create log entries, and perform operations such as moving, deleting, and archiving log files. It uses the log type enum to categorize log entries and provides methods to interact with log files and log entries.
I'm here to explain the part 4 of home assignments number 2. In this part, I try to create a class named DataStream, and this class has an attribute named data, which is an array, and this array is containing bytes and returns the data to us. And I try to create some methods for this class, and in this method we can return data, and also I try to create another method named sendData, which is responsible for sending data to a specified receiver. And I also try to create another class named class data receiver, and in this public class which has an attribute named data, and it's also containing of arrays of bytes, and it receives data from a specified senders and process this data. In another class named Data Stream Manager, I try to create a simulation of data exchange between the sender and receiver. You can see here we can simulate the data which is sent from a sender and data which is received by a receiver by this class.